You remember going trick-or-treating? You probably thought you had like a good system and got a lot of candy. Well, you didn't. I did it better, and here's how I know, because I did training. These are all real things I did to physically prepare myself to go trick-or-treating. And I've organized them into levels for you so you can play along. Level 0, that's just your baseline, general running. You're gonna be doing a lot of running on Halloween. So to get ready for that, what I would do is I'd run a 1.5 mile warm-up, and then a 5K 5 days a week. I was like a toffee thoroughbred. Trick-or-treating is all about stamina. You don't want to give out at 9 p.m. That's when old people go to sleep. I would do this a month ahead of time, so I'd be ready for the big night. A candy gazelle. I used to run sprints up the steepest hills I could find. Looked like a one-child Calvary charging for Baby Ruth bars. By Halloween, I had lungs I could have trick-or-treated Everest. Which brings us to level 1, running up and down stairs. Now, a lot of places have porches, so what I would do is practice my footwork so I get up and down faster than anyone else. Be the first one to ring that sweet, sweet doorbell. I also practice a bunch just leaping upstairs. Because it comes down to you and one other kid for that king-size Kit Kat. It's going to be the one that can leap up 4 to 5 stairs in one stride. Which brings us to level 2, sprints. It's all well and good to get up the stairs, but how are you going to get to the house in the first place? You gotta sprint there, like a lunatic. So to get ready for trick-or-treating, I ran wind sprints. You ever see someone sprinting in a Spider-Man costume in the summer? Pretty unsettling. You think there's a crime going on that you're not aware of. And yes, you have to do it while wearing a mask. Because if you've ever worn a mask on Halloween or robbing a bank, you know it can bobble and you're not going to be able to see. I was well prepared. I could be running and looking out an eye hole and a nose hole at the same time. I did so much partial vision training, I could have ran to those houses blindfolded. Masks are made of a cheap rubber. If you really want to sweat, run a mile in a Spirit Halloween Chucky mask. You'll lose 15 pounds in a quarter mile. After a while, I learned to thrive in the heat. I was like one of those desert lizards skipping across the sand. Masks also aren't very breathable. That's why you always hear them breathing in horror movies. They're not creeps, just can't breathe well. You'd want to kill someone too if you were congested all the time. By Halloween night, I could hold my breath for 4 minutes. Now you might be asking, why not just pick a costume without a mask? Yeah, well, I thought of that too, you big moron. That's why I stopped wearing a mask. You only wear the mask to train for trick-or-treating. You don't actually wear it on the big night. That way, when you're breathing in that crisp October air, it's like you're competing in an oxygen-rich environment. Eventually, you grow up and become wise and choose your costume based solely on wind resistance. Every year, I just dressed as an F1 race car. No drag. By this point, you're probably thinking, Chris, but you're not just running, you're running with candy. Won't the weight of the bag throw you off? That's why I ran weighted wind sprints. That's right. Welcome to level 3, motherfucker. This is a real thing I did. I loaded a backpack up with weights and I ran as fast as I could. You wouldn't even see me at first. All you'd hear is a clanging of metal weights in a book bag. Then finally you see a small child hanging on for dear life to his backpack as the weights bounce around inside them. This hurt. I didn't have any fancy equipment. I just put a bunch of weight plates in my school backpack and started running down the street. It was the perfect system. Now the only problem with it is that everyone else you're gonna go trick-or-treating with doesn't train like an Olympic athlete. So you're just gonna end up waiting at every house for like 5 minutes as people, take their time walking because they're having fun.